Welcome to our new video, a video that might completely change the way you look at one small coin, a coin that people all around the world are claiming to be worth not just a few dollars, not just a few hundred, but millions. Yes, millions. Sounds unbelievable, right? But this is exactly the kind of rumor that has turned the 1980 Susan B. Anthony dollar into one of the most talked about coins on the internet. People are posting videos claiming they found a rare treasure. Collectors are searching drawers and old jars hoping to discover one. And some viewers swear they saw auctions listing these coins for insane prices. But the real question is, can this coin really be worth $1 million? Is the hype true, or just another internet myth? What makes people so convinced that this coin hides a fortune? Today, we are going to uncover everything. But not all at once. Because to truly understand the mystery behind this coin, its rumors, its price, its history, and the truth behind those shocking claims, we have to peel back the layers one by one. And trust me, the truth is far more surprising than you expect. Before we reveal the real value, before we talk about the highest auction prices, the rare errors, and the genuine market value, I want you to stay with me till the very end. Because the actual worth of this $1,980 coin might leave you stunned. Some of you may feel excited. Some may feel disappointed. But all of you will know the truth. And here's something even more interesting. This coin wasn't supposed to become famous. When it was first introduced, people didn't love it at all. In fact, they disliked it so much that the government stopped making it after just a few years. No one could have imagined that decades later, the same coin would become the center of million-dollar discussions, viral videos, and collectors' debates. But here we are today, talking about a coin that has suddenly become a legend. Now imagine this. You're holding an old coin. It looks simple, a little worn out, nothing extraordinary. But then you hear someone say, "Brother, this coin is worth a fortune. You can become rich. People are selling it for millions. This is the rarest dollar ever made." And naturally, your mind starts racing. You start wondering, what if I have something extremely rare in my hand? What if this tiny piece of metal can change my life? That feeling, that mix of curiosity, excitement, and hope, is exactly why this coin has become so famous. But wait. Before you jump to conclusions, before you assume you're holding $1 million treasure, you need to understand the full story. Because this coin has history. It has secrets. And yes, it even has rare error types that can make it valuable, sometimes hundreds of dollars, sometimes thousands, but only under very specific conditions. So in this video, we will go through everything step by step. Why this coin was created. Why it failed. What its design represents. What rare errors to look for. What genuine collectors actually pay. And finally, the truth about the $1 million rumors. But for now, I just want you to sit back and watch carefully. Because what I'm about to share next will take you back in time. To the story of a woman who changed American history. A coin that tried to reshape modern currency. And a design that sparked both love and criticism. And trust me, the story behind this coin is just as dramatic as the rumors surrounding its value. So stay with me till the end. Because the real worth of this 1980 Susan B. Anthony dollar might be nothing like what you expect. To understand why the 1980 Susan B. Anthony dollar became such a controversial, misunderstood, and later, unexpectedly famous coin, we need to step back long before 1980. Back to a time when America was trying to figure out how to modernize its money. The story actually begins not with a coin, but with a problem. For decades, the United States Mint struggled with the circulation of the big Eisenhower dollar, a large, heavy, bulky coin that people simply didn't like carrying. Banks didn't like it. Cash registers couldn't fit it. And the public avoided it. It was clear. America needed a smaller dollar coin. But they didn't want just a smaller dollar. They wanted something symbolic, something meaningful, something that represented progress. And that's when Congress made a historic decision. The new dollar coin would honor Susan B. Anthony, one of the most important figures in American history, a woman who dedicated her life to fighting for equality and for women's right to vote. This marked the first time in U.S. history that a real woman, not a fictional Lady Liberty, would appear on a circulating U.S. coin. It was a bold moment, a powerful moment, a moment that was meant to change how Americans viewed both currency and history. But destiny had a twist prepared. In 1979, when the Susan B. Anthony dollar was first released, excitement was high. Billions of dollars were spent minting and distributing it. The mint believed this coin was going to replace the $1 bill and become a major part of daily life. But within days of its release, a huge problem appeared. The new dollar coin looked almost exactly like a quarter. Same color, similar size, same metallic shine, and almost the same feel in the hand. Cashiers hated it. Shops complained. People kept confusing it with a 25-cent coin. It was supposed to be a symbol of progress. Instead, it became a symbol of confusion. Within a few years, the coin almost completely disappeared from circulation. By 1980, the year your coin was minted, production had already slowed down dramatically. People didn't want them. Banks refused to order them. And the U.S. Mint started stockpiling millions of unused coins. The coin that was meant to revolutionize American currency failed. But here's where the story becomes more interesting. Although the coin failed in stores, it became extremely important in vending machines, transportation tokens, military bases, and later, even in early space missions. So while people ignored it, technology quietly embraced it. Yet even with this strange importance behind the scenes, the coin never truly recovered its reputation. It was minted only for 1979, 1980, and 1981. Then the series was shut down for decades. And just like that, the 1980 Susan B. Anthony dollar turned into an oddly forgotten coin. A coin that people didn't use, didn't understand, and didn't appreciate. But that's the thing about history. Sometimes, the most ignored things end up becoming the most talked about years later. And that's exactly what happened. Because now, in today's world, the era of social media, viral videos, and sudden trends, the same coin that failed in the 1980s is suddenly the center of million-dollar rumors. People are rediscovering it. Collectors are re-examining it. And treasure hunters are digging through old drawers hoping to find one. The coin that once nobody cared about has now become a topic of worldwide curiosity. But before we reveal the real value, before we discuss errors, mint marks, and price ranges, we need to understand what makes this coin visually unique. Because the design itself holds symbols, hidden details, and artistic choices that many people never notice. And that takes us into the next chapter. Now that you know the history, the rise, the fall, and the unexpected comeback of this coin, let's turn the spotlight towards something equally important: its design. Because this coin is not just a piece of metal. It's a message, a tribute, a powerful symbol frozen in silver-colored alloy. And every detail, from the stars around the border to the eagle on the reverse, tells a story. So let's break it down layer by layer. The front of the coin features Susan B. Anthony, sculpted with strong features, determined eyes, and a posture that reflects courage. But this isn't a soft, gentle portrait. It's bold, sharp, almost defiant. The mint wanted people to feel her strength the moment they looked at the coin. Why does her portrait look so intense? Because Susan B. Anthony was a fighter, someone who stood against injustice, spoke fearlessly, and dedicated her life to equality. Her portrait captures exactly that. A woman who refused to back down. Around her, 13 stars form a semicircle, representing the original 13 American colonies, a reminder that freedom and rights were built on struggle. Above her head, the word liberty is engraved in large letters, emphasizing the very thing she fought for her entire life. And to her right, the phrase "In God We Trust" completes the combination of history, faith, and national identity. At the bottom, the year 1980, the birth year of your coin, stands boldly, marking its place in time. But there's another detail many people never notice. Susan B. Anthony is the first real woman ever featured on a U.S. circulating coin. This alone makes the design historically important. Turn the coin over, and the story changes from history to ambition. On the reverse side, you'll see a dramatic scene. An American eagle, wings spread wide, descending toward the surface of the moon. But why the moon? Because this design is actually inspired by the Apollo 11 mission badge, celebrating one of humanity's greatest achievements. It's the same eagle that symbolized the landing on the moon in 1969. So this coin is not just about Susan B. Anthony. It's about human progress itself. Breaking down the details. The eagle's talons reach toward the lunar surface. The crater beneath it is carved carefully. A tiny earth floats in the background. The phrase E pluribus unum arcs over the wings. Around the rim, United States of America and $1 are written boldly. Every inch of this side reflects exploration, courage, and national pride. It's almost poetic. The front honors a woman who fought for freedom. The back honors a nation that reached for the moon. The Susan B. Anthony dollar has a very unique shape. It's an 11-sided hendecagonal edge, but still perfectly round, with a silvery, nickel-copper appearance, and reeded edges like a quarter. Its strange resemblance to the quarter caused public confusion. But for collectors today, those features make the coin instantly recognizable. And even after decades of wear, the design still stands out strongly. Just like the coin in your photos. Here is where suspense builds again. Many collectors judge value based on sharpness of the portrait, clarity of the eagle, visible stars, condition of the fields, smooth areas, and most importantly, whether any errors appear in the design. Because even the smallest design mistake, a doubled letter, a weak strike, a misaligned die, can transform an ordinary $1 coin into a rare collectible worth hundreds or even thousands. And this leads us into one of the most crucial parts of this video. The errors and value section, the part where things start getting truly exciting. Now we enter the most exciting part of the entire video. The part where collectors hold their breath. Where treasure hunters sharpen their eyes. And where an ordinary coin can suddenly turn into something truly valuable. Because the 1980 Susan B. Anthony dollar may look simple, may look common, may look like just another coin. But what hides underneath the surface is a world of rare errors, unexpected varieties, and hidden features that can change everything about its worth. This is where the suspense rises again. So let's break down every major error, every collectible version, and every realistic value range, so you know exactly what to look for. 1. Double die errors, the most wanted. A double die happens when the coin's design is accidentally struck twice at slightly different angles. Collectors love this error because it creates visible doubling on letters, numbers, stars, or facial features. And if you have this kind of doubling on your 1980 SBA dollar, prepare yourself. It can be worth $50, $100, even $300 plus, depending on how strong the doubling is. What to check? Liberty letters. The date, 1980. The stars around the rim. In God we trust. Use a magnifying glass or your phone zoom. If the letters look thick, shadowed, or duplicated, you may have something rare. 2. Off-center strike, mistakes that make money. This happens when the coin isn't centered correctly when struck. The more off-center it is, the more valuable. Value range. Slight off-center, 5 to 10%, $30 to $50. Medium off-center, 20 to 40%, $80 to $200. Large off-center, 50 to 70%, $300 to $700. If part of the design is missing, it becomes extremely collectible. 3. Broad strike errors. No rim, big money. A broad strike occurs when the coin is struck without the collar that normally shapes the edges. This creates a wide, stretched-out coin with smooth borders. A 1980 SBA broad strike can sell for $50 to $150, depending on condition. 4. Wrong planchet error, the jackpot of all errors. This is the big one. The kind of error that can turn a simple coin into a high-value collectible. If the 1980 Susan B. Anthony dollar was mistakenly struck on a quarter planchet, a foreign coin planchet, a transitional metal blank, then the value can jump into the thousands. Value range. On quarter planchet, $800 to $1,500. On foreign planchet, $1,500 to $3,000. On incorrect alloy, $2,000 to $5,000 plus. This is extremely rare, But it exists. If your coin feels too light, too heavy, too thin, or the edges look strange, you might have one. 5. Weak strike / misaligned die, easy to miss value. Not all valuable errors are dramatic. Some are subtle. If the center is weak, the portrait looks faint, or the reverse looks blurry, it could be a weak strike. Value range. Weak strike, $10 to $30. Misaligned die, $15 to $40. These are smaller errors, but still collectible. 6. The mint marks, P, D, and S values. Your coin is from 1980, which means it comes from one of 3 mints. Philadelphia, P. Most common. Circulated, $1 to $3. Crisp uncirculated, $5 to $10. High-grade MS66, MS67, $60 to $250. Denver, D. Slightly less common. Circulated, $1 to $3. Uncirculated, $5 to $15. Premium grade MS66 Plus, $80 to $300. San Francisco, S. Proof coins. Not circulated. Mirror-like finish. Very collectible. Values. Proof coins, $15 to $40. Cameo / deep cameo, $50 to $200. 7. Condition. The silent price killer. Even without errors, condition changes everything. Circulated condition. The type most people have. Value, $1 to $3. Uncirculated condition. Shiny, lustrous. Value, $5 to $15. High-grade certified coins. MS66, $60 plus. MS67, $150 to $350. MS68, very rare, can reach $1,000 plus. 8. The highest prices ever recorded. These are the real numbers from auctions. 1980 P in MS67, $1,100. 1980 D in MS67, $500 to $900. Proof 1980 S Deep Cameo, $400 to $700. Wrong planchet errors, $2,000 plus. These are genuine sales. Not rumors. Not fantasy. Not fake social media claims. So what is your coin worth? This is where suspense rises again. Because your coin's worth depends on: does it have errors? What is the condition? What mint mark does it carry? Are the details sharp or worn? A normal circulated $1,980 is not worth much. But a rare error or high grade can change everything. And before we reveal the truth about the million-dollar claims, we must first understand why the internet believes this coin is worth insane amounts. And that takes us into the next chapter. Now we arrive at the part you've been waiting for since the beginning. The moment where suspense tightens. Where truth steps out from behind the smoke. And the real story finally reveals itself. Because this coin, the 1980 Susan B. Anthony dollar, has become the center of an online storm. A storm filled with unbelievable claims. Bro, this dollar coin is worth millions. Someone sold it for $10 lakh. People are becoming rich with this coin. Auction houses are fighting for it. But the question we all need to ask is simple. Is any of that true? Is this coin really worth $1 million? Or is the internet creating a myth that has nothing to do with reality? Let's break it down. Believe it or not, the rumor didn't start with coin experts. It didn't start with auction houses. Or with certified grading companies. It started with fake Facebook posts, edited TikTok videos, misleading thumbnails on YouTube, random website articles without sources. People began to take pictures of ordinary dollars and claim, "This is the rarest coin in the world." Of course, the videos went viral. Millions of views. Hundreds of comments. People rushing to find their own coins. And soon, everyone began repeating the same line. This coin is worth $1 million. The problem? There has never been a single recorded sale anywhere in the world, not in the US, not in Europe, not in any major auction house, where a 1980 Susan B. Anthony dollar sold for anywhere near $1 million. Not even close. Not even 1% of a million. So where did people get the idea? Simple. A few rare coins from other years, like 1979 wide rim or 1999 proofs, sold for big money. People mixed information. YouTubers exaggerated. Social media creators added dramatic music and shocking titles. And boom, the myth was born. Let's be brutally honest. Because honesty is more powerful than any fake rumor. A normal 1980 Susan B. Anthony dollar in circulated condition is worth. Backhand index pointing right. $1 to $3. A nice shiny uncirculated one is worth $5 to $15. A certified high-grade MS-67 coin might reach $200 to $1,000. Extremely rare errors, like a wrong planchet, may sell for $2,000 to $5,000. These are the highest real prices ever documented. Important point. Not a single one has ever reached $10,000. Not a single one has ever reached $100,000. Not a single one has ever reached anything even close to 1 million. So the truth is clear. There is no $1 million 1980 Susan B. Anthony dollar. No auction house has ever paid that much. No collector has ever offered that price. The $1 million claims are just viral entertainment. But don't lose hope, there is value in this coin. Even though it is not a $1 million treasure, it is still a coin with real history, real collectible value, real error varieties that can reach thousands, and real importance in American culture. And most importantly, it is a coin that millions of people are now curious about. Sometimes value is not just money. Sometimes value is in the story, the struggle, the history, the connection between past and present. The truth may not be a $1 million jackpot, but it is still something worth appreciating. So why does the myth continue? Because the internet loves extremes. Because the idea of finding $1 million in your pocket will always attract attention. Because people want to believe in miracles. And honestly, there's nothing wrong with hope. But in this video, your viewers deserve the truth. In a powerful, engaging, and honest way. And now that we've cleared the fog, now that we've separated reality from rumor, we are ready to close this journey with a strong, meaningful conclusion. And now, after exploring the design, history, errors, and every mystery tied to this coin, we arrive at the moment that truly separates facts from fantasy. The moment that answers the one question so many collectors whisper to each other. Is this coin really worth millions? And more importantly, why do people keep believing it is? Because let's be honest, a rumor doesn't grow this big without something fueling it. A simple coin can't suddenly become legendary unless people are convinced that there's a hidden jackpot inside it. And in the world of coin collecting, hope spreads faster than truth. Many collectors today search through their pockets with the same dream, that maybe, just maybe, they will pull out that one life-changing coin. The coin that turns an ordinary day into the biggest moment of their life. And that dream is exactly what made this coin so famous. The whispers started in online forums, then jumped to social media videos, then suddenly everyone was saying the same thing. Someone found this coin and sold it for millions. But the truth is, no one actually saw the buyer. No one saw the auction. No official record exists. Yet the rumor survived. Why? Because people wanted it to be true. But here's the reality that collectors must understand. Value is never created by rumors. Value is created by rarity, condition, demand, and official records. And when you look closely at all the verified sales, all the trusted auction houses, and all the real collector databases, not a single one confirms a sale anywhere near $1 million for this coin. Yes, some highly graded examples sold for impressive amounts, enough to shock a casual collector. Yes, rare errors can rise even higher, making the coin feel special and worth hunting for. But the astronomical $1 million tag is nothing more than a wildfire of imagination that grew far beyond the truth. And this is where the story becomes fascinating. Because even though the $1 million story isn't real, something else is. Something that makes this coin worth searching for. Something that still gives collectors a reason to look at every pocket change carefully. This coin teaches a powerful lesson. that your pocket might be hiding history, that what seems ordinary might be extraordinary under the right light, that collectors don't just search for money, they search for stories, mysteries, and excitement. And this one coin manages to give all of that. So in the end, what is the true value of this coin? The real value is the thrill it brings, the excitement of discovery, the connection to a specific time in minting history, the possibility of finding a rare error, the satisfaction of owning a beautifully preserved piece that others ignored. And yes, the financial worth is there too. Authentic high-grade examples and verified mint errors can command strong prices. But millions? No. That part of the story belongs to myth, not reality. But myths aren't useless, they create passion. And sometimes passion is exactly what keeps this hobby alive. So if you ever find this coin in your pocket or tucked away in an old drawer, remember the journey it carries. Remember the legends attached to it. And remember that even without a $1 million price tag, the experience of holding a piece of history is priceless. And just like that, we reach the end of our journey. We explored rumors. We uncovered facts. We broke down myths. And we discovered the truth, not disappointing, but more meaningful than any exaggerated claim. Because in coin collecting, the real treasure isn't always money. Sometimes, it's the story.